Welcome to a PoE melee build. As you can see, my guy is clutching a golden apple because this is an auto Warcry build. Alright, let's jump in. I'll do a little bit of a showcase and then we'll talk about how the build works. So we got hidden here. Been doing a lot of breach stuff on this guy. We've got crit, express, 50% more life. Let's jump in and do this. Yeah, build surprisingly turned out better than I anticipated it would. Yeah, the basic playstyle is you just run around and do some slam stuff. You can face tank a lot of stuff on it. Pretty tanky. Not the tankiest, but tanky enough. Punishment, doing the job. And yeah, there we go. Boom. Awaken Brutality. Interesting. Didn't even know you could get that from this. Oh, it's the Maven stuff, right? The new buffs. What's that worth these days? Half a divine, not bad. Anyway, we have a 100% deli map here. No real juice, just 100% deli. And I'll chuck on a breach, just so you can get a rough idea of how mapping is on the build. Probably not the best build to do deli on. Yeah, you kind of want some like projectile bullshit, but yeah, for a melee build, not bad. The damage is okay. Let's just try and find a breach real quick. Guess I should kill the bosses, right? Before I leave too. Try and find them. But yeah, the build like it has a lot of uptime on Berserk, which is really nice. Let's just check out this breach. That's all I've been doing really, just breach nodes. Breaching 100% daily is really fucking hectic. Oh my god. There's so much stuff going on. There's a chalupa breach as well. All this. But yeah, I mean, it handles pretty much everything I've thrown at it so far. In terms of like general gameplay. You can see the boss icon somewhere in this mess. Visual clarity in PoE, by the way. Imagine playing like D4 and coming to this shit. Who even is that? Is it Kosis? No, it's Omni. What's up, boy? You give us a gravel. Thank you for that. Oh, Lionize. See if I can find the Kosis. Oh, but I think we actually hit the breach node thing where it gives you like 1,000,000 breaches in your map. Oh my god, it's getting hectic. Explode flask is doing work. Alright, here's Kosis. It's like a slam off. Who will die first? Alright, cool. Yeah, so that's like 100% deli mapping on the build. With my level of gear. Quite good for a melee build. Right. Now, how does this work? What is going on with this build? Eternal Apple, what does it do? Every time you lose an endurance charge, you get a triggered Warcry. So we have 3 Warcries in here. The way we get the endurance charge stuff going is we use a small cluster to get Endurance and Composure. Once you've been hit, you get an endurance charge every second for the past 4 seconds. The way we self-hit is using Ben's Helmet. Every single exert you have on your attack, you get 15% more damage and you take it stacking 20% of your life as physical damage. So we have to get a lot of armor on the build. We have a lot more than that when we have, so that's like a base armor. It goes up a bit, especially when you have this on as well. So yeah, pretty decent amount of armor. So once you Seismic Cry, you have an exert on your attack, you hit, and then the Warcry loop goes off. You keep attacking, keep hitting yourself with the helmet because you have exerts. Your exerts are automatic now because of the apple. And yeah, the Warcry loop continues to go as you run around slamming. Now, in order to make this loop work, you do need 2 minimum endurance charges on your rings. Not too hard to get. This one's pretty hard to get. You do need a -7 mana cost to make sure you don't run out of mana, because we're running the Warcries off of our mana. Right now it's only 8 mana because I have this. These rings are not that difficult to craft. I can go over that real quick in the simulation. You need a Fractured Strength ring. You take a Veil Chaos Orb and you just slam. And Veil. And then yeah, you hit minimum endurance that easily. And we hit lightning res too. Basically that's what you want. Strength, res, and a minimum endurance. You do need an open prefix though to craft it, so this is not usable. You have to keep going like this until you hit what you need. You need an open prefix so you can craft on your mana stuff. Okay. This is a strength stack too, so we take Iron Will. I currently have 1.8k strength-ish. So I convert all the strength gives you a bonus to melee physical damage. But with this keystone, that strength gives you spell damage too. We buff that up with the chest, so it's what? 3% melee per 10 fits, I think? What does it look like? I can't remember what it is. 5 per 1, 3. Okay. So yeah, 10 strength is, yeah, 10 per 10 is 3%. Okay, yeah. So what we do is we take that spell damage and we convert that into attack damage, because melee doesn't work with BLS. BLS gives you flat fire damage per 10 strength, which is useless with normal strength. And this, to get sort of generic attack damage, we use Battle Mage's Cry. Battle Mage's Cry does two things. It exerts your attack, and then it will trigger a spell that's attached to Battle Mage's Cry itself, which we do not make use of. This exert does count towards the helmet, so that's nice. We get the 15% more damage from the exerts from that. What we do care about though is the buff portion. The buff is just a passive, like 8-second buff every time you use the Warcry. It's this thing here. Oh no, where is it? Oh, let me just get it up real quick. I forgot that it's on auto. It'll pop up in a second. There it is. Battle Mage's Cry. That's the buff you get. That's up all the time with the amount of times we use it. You do need 30 power to get the maximum amount of effectiveness from Battle Mage's Cry. And the way power works in PoE is that a white mob is worth 1, a yellow is worth 10, and a unique is worth 20. So we do need some stuff to get that to 30. We use Deep Breaths, 20% total power counted. We have 2 mediums down here, 20, 20. That gives us 60% counted power. So when we're on the boss, we have 32 power, which gives us the maximum effect of Battle Mage's Cry. It gives us an 18% covered in Ash from Infernal Cry, and Intimidation doesn't really matter. What I will say is that, yeah, the damage fluctuates throughout mapping, because obviously you're not near a unique mob all the time, so you do need to take 10% minimum power just to make sure we get the rage up all the time. This also leads into Warbringer nodes. You get 5, every 5 power, you get 10 rage. So that gives us 20 rage, even when there's no monsters around. It's just to make sure that our Berserk is up a lot. So these walk around nodes are kind of mandatory. Also, the 50% more damage to Berserk attacks. That's always going off because we're doing it. We're exerting so much. You can see that's the buff right there. The uptime is pretty much permanent. So it's like 50% more damage, and then like, I don't know, 70% uptime on Berserk or something like that. It's a really neat interaction for this build. But yeah, the general pathing, we took all this long route to come all the way around here to get the precise techniques. And we also get a really good split personality in there as well. Lethal Pride in here. You have to search up a seed. Currently I've got 20% strength out of mine with this down here. I like the little the armor you get and the duration and your guard skill. It's kind of nice. If you don't hit this particular seed for this, you can always anoint 10% pen up here. Very cheap, very strong. That's kind of it really for the functionality of the build. The itemization is pretty generic strength stack stuff. Fortress, Astromentis, Ben's Helm is, yeah, BLS. We do a synthesized belt, 80% strength, is just the best you can craft, get some res. Boots, generic strength stuff. You want to get the Warcry buff on the implicit, action speed's good, leech on your gloves, a lot of damage. You can get rage on your gloves too if you want, try and get a bit more sustain out of Berserk. Warcry buff on the helmet. Maybe, I'm not sure if the Earthshatter Spike helmet enchant is better than this. I don't really know what the overlap situation is. Let's go over some numbers real quick. So one thing to note is that the helmet is not in PoE. You do not get the bonus in PoE. You have to put it in manually. 45% more damage with the free exerts. If you pop a seismic, it goes to 60. 3.7 million. This is with max hit Warcry, which does mean that it's giving you the full amount from Intimidation Cry. So you're never really going to be hitting this continuously, because Intimidating Cry is only 3 hits every 3 seconds. So that is not full uptime. PoB averages out Ruthless too. 33% more damage from a 98%, so you're probably looking at about a 5 mil Ruthless hit. If all the stars align with all the bullshit. Another thing I will mention is that punishment is not ticked on this PoB either. Punishment, we are using cast from damage taken punishment. Because we're hitting ourselves so much and we're taking a shitload of damage, this punishment uptime is quite good. And I found that you really want the damage boost sort of below half a boss's HP, and it's just a huge 60% more damage multiplier when the boss is like half its HP. So when it goes down to low life on the boss, you get a huge 5.5 mil hit on that initial slam. And then obviously you do the spikes, 3.8 mil, and I'm not quite sure how much they overlap, so the DPS is kind of difficult to figure out on that regard. But yeah, that's kind of it really. It turned out pretty good. They don't really need the flask. It helps out a lot on like super juiced gear maps. But for a melee build, it's pretty good. It's fast. Got some good movement speed with Frostblink. Yeah, I've enjoyed it a lot. It's surprisingly good for the league mechanic. I've been doing 5-for-1s on this. I did hit the Dex one. If you do get the Strength Stack one, it's about a 30% more damage multiplier. So there is a Chase Relic on this build, so you can really push the build to quite a lot. I mean, a 30% more multiplier on top of this is pretty insane, right? It's like an extra... What is that? Like an extra 1.5 mil, you'd be hitting like a 7 mil hit. I don't know, man. It's pretty insane. Pretty fun. Right now I'm using this. I got a 30% spell damage, 10%. It's kind of cool. Battle Mage's Cry turns that spell damage into attack, and then attack speed's kind of nice, just for moving around and stuff. That's pretty much it, man. Melee, dude. Not bad. Peace.